257 Jamaicans received national honors and awards during yesterday's annual investiture and awards ceremony at King's House. The Heroes Day awardees included 80 members from the Jamaica Defence Force, Jamaica Constabulary Force, Jamaica Fire Brigade, and the Department of Correctional Services. Also among the list of those honored was musician Neville O'Reilly Livingston, more popularly known as Bunny Wailer. Congratulations to all the awardees. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Welcome to this post-Heroes Day edition of Jamaica Magazine.
Jamaica comes alive for Jamaica 55. The Jamaica Information Service is inviting primary, secondary, and tertiary students to catch the vibes and join in the celebration by participating in this year's staging of the JIS Heritage Competition. Primary and prep school children, ages 9 to 12, enter the essay competition and tell us how you would want to see Jamaica in 55 years. High schoolers enter the poster competition. Show us your artistic interpretations of Jamaica throughout her 55 years in a poster titled Jamaica 55. Posters may be designed digitally or illustrated. Zoom, click, snap. Yes, tertiary students, the photo competition is back. Capture an image that best represents Jamaica 55. For more information on the competition rules and how to submit entries, visit the JIS website at www.jis.gov.jm. You may also send an email to heritageessay@jis.gov.jm, heritageposter@jis.gov.jm, or heritagephoto@jis.gov.jm, or call us at 926-3590-4. The deadline for all entries is October 31, 2017. So ready, set, go for prizes galore. JIS Heritage Competition 2017, celebrating Jamaica 55.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, October 17. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared Denham Town as the second zone of special operations. The special designation took effect early this morning and will remain in force for 60 days in the first instance.
The selected zone was deemed to have met the first order criteria for being considered and declared a zone. And those first order criteria would be ongoing gang warfare, rampant criminality, escalating violence and murder, and a threat to rule of law.
There are 12 known gangs operating in Denham Town. Denham Town community has been plagued with serious crimes resulting in approximately 82 victims between 6 and 65 years old in 2017 alone.
While the zone is in operation, residents can expect to encounter checkpoints, curfews, and being asked to provide identification. As with the Mount Salem Zone of Special Operations, the security operations in Denham Town will be accompanied by targeted social intervention measures. Government has launched its Agriculture Push Start APS program in Guys Hill to increase the production of Irish potato, onions, and Scotch bonnet peppers. Minister without portfolio in the Agriculture Ministry J.C. Hutchinson says the program will embrace all agricultural entrepreneurs with special focus on the youth and women.
The aim of the program is to engage anyone who wants to pursue agriculture as a business, to give them a push start, and in so doing, in this way, we are creating employment, thereby facilitating persons transitioning from poverty to prosperity.
Minister Hutchinson says if the pilot is successful, the initiative will be extended to other parishes and other crops such as carrot, thyme, and gungo peas. Meanwhile, more than 60 St. Thomas farmers who suffered losses during flood rains earlier this year are getting assistance to resume production. The farmers were given a total of $2.5 million in vouchers for seeds, fertilizers, chemicals, and plant nutrition products. Minister Hutchinson lauded St. Jago Farm and Hardware Supplies for the timely donation, which is being made as farmers are preparing to replant.
This salute to farmers today is a testament to the gracious efforts of St. Jago Farm Supplies of giving back to our farmers and helping them when they most need it.
The donation was made through St. Jago Farms' Salute to Farmers initiative, which sees the company collaborating with international suppliers to provide farmers with key inputs to resuscitate their farms. Cabinet is expected to review the issue of no down payment for purchasing a home as part of the draft housing policy, which is expected to be presented to the executive shortly. Specific categories of National Housing Trust mortgages are already benefiting from this provision. Chief Technical Director with responsibility for water, works and housing, Doreen Prendergast, says policymakers are now giving careful consideration to wide-scale availability.
Many persons find it quite challenging coming up even with a deposit to pay for a housing solution. It is something that is worth pursuing, maybe in a more targeted way, maybe in a more rigorous way in terms of establishing criteria for persons to satisfy to get such a benefit.
Ms. Prendergast was speaking at a recent JI's think tank. 257 Jamaicans received national honors and awards during yesterday's annual investiture and awards ceremony held on the lawns of King's House in St. Andrew. 80 of the awardees were from the Security and Correctional Services. Of note, Police Commissioner George Coelho was appointed to the Order of Distinction for service to the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Legendary musician Neville O'Reilly Livingston, more popularly known as Bunny Wailer, was among a distinguished list of entertainers who were recognized during the Heroes' Day service. Bunny Wailer was conferred with the country's third highest honor, the Order of Merit, for his work in the field of popular music. Other standouts included track and field coach Vincent Stephen Francis of the MVP Track Club, who received the Order of Jamaica. Awardees from academia included University of the West Indies Principal Professor Archibald MacDonald. Ambassador Clifton Stone and Littleton Shirley were awarded for outstanding public service, while a number of leaders in business and the sports community were also recognized. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling for a concerted national effort to promote the country's heritage, particularly among the youth. He made the call during his message to mark National Heroes Day.
They need to know, embrace, and treasure our Jamaican history and culture so that they can face the challenges of the future with confidence, optimism, and hope. We have a great heritage to promote and a great legacy to protect. We cannot afford to treat it lightly, knowing we have had significant global influence on every field, including music, culture, sports, medicine, and of course, our contribution to world history through our national heroes.
Similar sentiments were shared by the Leader of the Opposition, Dr. Peter Phillips, during his Heroes' Day message.
We need to bear in mind that with each passing year, fewer and fewer Jamaicans have any living memory of any of our heroes. It is therefore of the utmost importance that we utilize the media, the classroom, and our creative artists to inform and educate our children of the great heritage and the great legacy that we have inherited.
And that's it for JI's News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Housing, land development, and using geospatial technology to improve planning and management. Those and more occupied the attention of the Prime Minister and his team at Jamaica House last week. We have the details.
MOCA asked to investigate cost overruns at the Housing Agency of Jamaica. Increased use of GIS technology promoted as a management and planning tool, and a call to action as the country celebrates National Heroes Day. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Simone Wolf.
Our national heroes have left us a great heritage and a great legacy on which to build. Let us preserve it for generations to come.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness's rallying call as the nation celebrated National Heroes Day on Monday. He urged Jamaicans to be each other's keeper by giving a helping hand, particularly to the elderly and the youth.
We must make a concerted national effort to always promote our proud heritage among our people, particularly our youth. They need to know, embrace, and treasure our Jamaican history and culture so that they can face the challenges of the future with confidence, optimism, and hope.
Earlier in the week,
I have instructed the chairman of the Housing Agency of Jamaica to refer this matter to MOCA.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness gave that directive in reaction to several cost overruns on housing developments overseen by the HAJ. He spoke specifically to two developments in St. Elizabeth and St. Mary. At the Luana Phase 1 development, Mr. Holness said the cost to deliver one-bedroom units moved from $2.1 million in 2011 to $11.8 million in 2016. And at the Hills of Boscobel housing scheme, the initial cost of $802 million ballooned to $1.6 billion in 2016.
Whatever is to be done, we will ensure that the appropriate agencies, according to their mandate in law, are notified and provided with the necessary information and direction to pursue their statutory mandate.
The Prime Minister was speaking on Wednesday as he broke ground for Phase 2 of the Luana Gardens housing scheme. 168 serviced lots will be delivered to potential residents. And while at Luana, Mr. Holness expressed concern about the way in which the country's lands were being developed. He said many of the urban and rural town centers were now mushrooming without being properly planned. A side effect of that improper development, Mr. Holness argued, was the proliferation of informal settlements. But the Prime Minister said he would be tackling that through the efficient management of the Housing Agency of Jamaica and the National Housing Trust. He said their roles were being refined to accelerate the number of housing opportunities available to Jamaicans.
So I would encourage people that before you consider squatting, look at the affordable solutions being created by the government. In this way, if we can increase the supply of affordable housing units, then the option to squat will no longer be an option for many persons. We must think spatially to improve overall planning, monitoring, evaluation, information sharing, and communication.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness's encouragement to those gathered at day one of the two-day inaugural GIS user conference last week. Asserting that geospatial technology could improve planning and management, Mr. Holness said more government agencies should join the over 50 entities currently using the technology. The Prime Minister also revealed that GIS was being integrated into government security objectives, allowing for more informed and systematic intervention. He said GIS was used to inform decisions in the zones of special operations, in the installation of surveillance cameras on the nation's roads, the implementation of the National Identification System, and through the GIS Core under the HOPE program.
We truly understand the deep power of the technology, and we understand that it can be leveraged for the good of the country, for the economic and social development of the country. We understand that there are gaps and shortcomings, and I am challenging this association to use your influence to ensure that all the databases are connected, that the gaps are closed, and that you have standards in the operating and use of the technology.
And on Friday, Prime Minister Holness declared his full support for chess in Jamaica, pointing to its role in the development of the mind and the encouragement of strategic thinking. Mr. Holness was addressing the official launch of the 3-day Jamaica International Chess Festival. He said chess could be an alternative pathway to success for Jamaicans.
Chess could be a kind of catalyst for social development in communities that are underserved. But chess is a pathway to success that Jamaica can have an outstanding international mark in.
The Prime Minister, who once coached and played chess while at his alma mater, St. Catherine High School, also expressed gratitude to and pleasure at the young and international chess grandmasters for traveling to Jamaica to teach the sport to other children. He hailed Ambassador Dr. Nigel Clark and Grandmaster Maurice Ashley for their role in staging the inaugural Jamaica International Chess Festival. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. We return next time with more of the news coming out of the office of the Prime Minister. That's it.
So here are the facts.
7 out of 10 Jamaicans die from a non-communicable disease.
Because we love our people and we want them to live better quality lives,
we, the Ministry of Health and our partners, are launching Jamaica Moves.
Jamaica Moves is a call to action to prevent non-communicable diseases.
By educating and encouraging Jamaicans to be active, eat healthy,
and start living 30 minutes at a time.
Because 30 minutes of physical activity each day, along with proper nutrition, can go a long way.
To prevent your risk from developing certain NCDs such as diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and certain cancers.
And remember, it's life we're promoting. That's why you see me going hard right now.
I'm all about living.
So help us take this first step towards a healthier Jamaica so you can enjoy more moments, more memories, more life.
The Urban Development Corporation is leading plans to redevelop downtown Kingston, making it a shining mecca for industry, commerce, and housing. Urban Scope examines the latest developments next.
The redevelopment of downtown Kingston is one of many programs being undertaken by the Urban Development Corporation, UDC. The main objective is to enable infrastructural changes that will drive social and economic development. The corporation is steadfast in its commitment and has been sharing the plans to get individuals and investors to come on board. General Manager Dr. Damien Graham outlines some of the projects under development.
We have 2 projects in the Market District out of the 6. We have Jubilee Market and Red Rose Market that are taking place. We also have the Lifestyle Center, which is to focus the Coronation Market and the land in front, the railway area. We also are doing the redevelopment of the government oval. We have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Foreign Trade building that is going up.
According to Dr. Graham, works on the markets, the Foreign Affairs and Grace Kennedy buildings are to be completed in 2018. The waterfront lands for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Grace Kennedy buildings were sold by UDC to the respective entities. And planning efforts for infrastructure developments are slated to advance in 2017 through a market demand survey. The results of the survey will inform plans for the construction of apartment and office complexes and the 792-space car park. As part of the investment strategy, the UDC is encouraging business owners to take advantage of the tax incentive program to set up, expand, and grow their businesses. This will also bring further development to downtown Kingston.
The tax incentive program is meant to stimulate investment. So if they are looking at any kind of capital investments in terms of their operating cash flow or to build infrastructure, that will incur a 33.33% tax-free incentive for every dollar that is put down.
On the social development side, the UDC says in addition to infrastructure development, it will also require the engagement of service organizations with communities.
where the service groups are getting into schools, getting into the communities, and helping the community-based organizations to take advantage of some of the projects that are happening, bringing them into their businesses where there is employment to happen, for them to open their doors, giving apprenticeship, and also spurring entrepreneurship by looking into the communities there and bringing them into doing more work within the communities.
In sharing with the Kiwanis Club of Eastern Kingston at Port Royal, the UDC General Manager points out that one of the positive outcomes to derive from the development of downtown Kingston is that it will allow Kingston to once again be an attractive destination point.
Creating new synthesis for commercial, cultural, historic, and other development to happen, and also to leverage Jamaica's broad-based development agenda. This is what is driving a motivation for us to develop downtown. And if we were to make that happen, we would address reducing crime, creating jobs for those who don't have it, creating wealth for those who wish to participate in the broad-based inclusivity that's there, and also to create prosperity.
The Kiwanians shared how they can participate in creating that desired social change.
We as the service groups can actually influence the children as our motto, serving the children of the world. We can start from the key clubs and change the attitude from there.
They were also on board with the development of downtown Kingston.
I'm really for it and I'm excited about it, and I can't wait to see the outcome of it. Our country actually needs this economic development, and any help our government can get and the country can get, it's welcome. If the country is developed, then your kids have a brighter and better future.
It is really vital. We are hoping for all of our partners to come on board and continue the momentum. The lifestyle project, the government oval, all of these projects are meant to stimulate the economic development and social development because they will bring the latent assets that are there to life.
The Urban Development Corporation, charting infrastructural and social development for economic growth.
If you're watching the JIS, you're always in the know when it comes to government information and news. Keep watching, keep informed, and tell your friends. JIS, your #1 source for government info.
Did you know that in a recent survey done by the OCA in schools across Jamaica, 43% of the students received inappropriate messages from strangers? The OCA wants you to be smart online. Never speak to persons you don't know. Parents, encourage your children to be social but be smart.
This message was brought to you by the Office of the Children's Advocate with support from UNICEF.
So earlier we were downtown, virtually, taking a look at redevelopment plans for the capital's business district. We now travel outside of Crossroads to a place many Jamaicans lovingly call the office. I'm of course talking about the National Stadium. You'll see why next.
It is the venue for national sporting activities and major events. Fondly called the office by local sports fans, the National Stadium is earmarked for major redevelopment under the Jamaica 55 Legacy Projects Initiative. The objective of the Jamaica 55 National Stadium redevelopment is to provide Jamaica with a first-class modern sport venue. When the project is completed, it is expected that the National Stadium will host mega events such as the IAAF Diamond League meets and FIFA CONCACAF tournaments, as well as concert tours, conventions and mass meetings that are usually held at world-class stadia across the globe.
The minister has announced what we call a bidding team led by the Honorable Mike Fennell, and we're going to put the people with the expertise on it so we can go there and go after in an aggressive way and in a very meaningful way these international games.
Before the country can host those international events, a few shortcomings need to be addressed, like limited seating of only 31,000 and partial covering of the grandstand area.
Right now, we fail most of the tests that our international sporting bodies put on what is required in our infrastructure to stage major international sports.
The stadium also needs improved security, emergency exits, dedicated access for VIPs, players and officials, and better medical facilities, media broadcast booths and concession stands. Also, a purpose-built secure doping testing area for athletes.
In what they call an athlete exclusion zone. Right now, what we have is a makeshift arrangement, which Ward has said, yes, it's not too bad, but it's not ideally where it ought to be.
The redevelopment of the National Stadium contains 9 major changes to the office. The bleachers section, located east of the grandstand, is to be demolished and replaced with a modern all-seater stand extending to trackside. The upper north and south bleacher will be upgraded with a modern all-seater stand, complete with concessions, public toilets, security and first aid stations. A new trackside service area and energy-efficient lighting are also in the plans. A state-of-the-art wireless communication system will be installed, and the grandstand will be upgraded to include a better VIP area, additional concessions, toilets, and trackside seating.
If we're going to be serious and treat sports not just as recreation, but look at the business of sports and what it can do for us in terms of national development, real economic returns from sports, we have to have the right infrastructure.
So added to the plans is a first-rate venue operating center, proper gate management, security staging areas, first aid centers, maintenance facility, and a sport equipment and operational storage area. Leading into the stadium itself,
we are improving on what we call Statue Square, which is right in front of the National Stadium. When they come there, to be able to buy miniature statues of the Usain statue. You must have an ice cream kiosk that people can come on a Sunday afternoon, buy ice cream and 2 hamburgers and then take the picture and go home. And people go to the stadium not just to watch a football match or to watch a netball match, but it now becomes a social area, the center of entertainment and sporting activities in Kingston. We now have a development plan. The price tag on it is $45 million to get it done.
The redevelopment work is being conducted in 4 phases and should be completed by the year 2022. So, just as our athletes have achieved global fame, if government has its way, the place where many began their journey to stardom will also become world-renowned.
So it becomes a modern stadium, and that's our aim, that's our vision, that is going to be achieved.
The magazine has run out of time, but there's more to share. So be sure to watch tomorrow's show, same time on this station. In the meantime, visit jis.gov.jm and our YouTube channel for other programs. While you're online, connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we continue to read your emails, so drop us a line at the address on the screen. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Have a great evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.